Hi all. So today we are going to see what is GNF, that is Gribak normal form. So far we have seen what is context-free grammar, and from that we know how to convert context-free grammar, and from that we learn how to convert into how to simplify it. Okay, so next, simplification of context free grammar by removing null symbol, by removing unit production, and we also know how to remove the useless or unwanted symbols. And from that we learned how to convert a CNF to CFG to CNF, that is Chomsky normal form, by updating the values. So Chomsky form normal form will be in the format of non-terminal to non-terminal non-terminal, or it will be in the format of non-terminal to terminal. Okay, so this thing is very important because the first step of Chomsky normal form, or GNF, okay, will be the simplification of grammar. Then only we can do conversion of CNF or GNF. Okay, so any conversion happens starts only with the simplification, so you have to remember how to simplify your grammar first. Okay, so now we'll see what is GNF. Okay, so the GNF is Gribak normal form. Okay, so in short form it is called as GNF. Okay, so what is this GNF is, you should have the Gribak normal form in the format of non-terminal should have give you terminal followed by non-terminal, or non-terminal will give you only terminal. So this is the format of, okay, if your grammar is in this format, then this grammar is called as Ribak normal form. Similarly, if your grammar is in this format, then that grammar is called as Chomsky normal form. Okay. So if a grammar is given, that is context-free grammar is given, you can convert that into CNF in this format by applying this format, and similarly this CNF will be converted, can be converted into GNF. Okay, so if a grammar is given, if they are asking you to convert GNF, then you have to convert the CFG into CNF first, then from that you can convert into GNF. Okay, so check the question how you got and convert accordingly. Okay, so this is how you will convert so this is your format of GNF, and our aim is to convert to this format. Okay, so I'll start with an example so that you will understand how it actually works. Okay, so the example is, so S gives, it's very simple when you understand properly, but if you're not understanding, okay, it just follows some very simple steps. Okay, just understand and follow it, you will understand very clearly. Okay, this is the grammar given. Okay, first, this is the grammar, that is context free grammar. Yes. Okay, CFG, CFG. Okay, CFG, this is in CFG. Okay, check, first step is, if check whether if it is in CFG, or you can say if check whether grammar in CFG. Check the given grammar whether it is in CF, CNF. Okay, so what is the format of CNF? I already told you, CNF the format of CNF will be, the production will be in the format of non-terminal will giving you, she will give you, it should give non-terminal non-terminal, or non-terminal will give only terminal. Okay, so check whether this given grammar in this format. Okay, so non-terminal means capital letters, terminal means small letters. Okay, non-terminal non-terminal, this is terminal, it is accepted. Similarly, non-terminal non-terminal, so how you are actually write this? S gives a, I can also write S gives a. Okay, I can also say yes, and also I can say B. Okay, actually this is the actual production which is made in a shorter form in this way. Okay, instead of giving two A's at the same time, we are just adding this A here, which gives S gives A, and also it also says that S gives A. Okay, please always remember in this way. Okay, because that will be very helpful for conversion of GNF. because we'll be substituting values. Okay, so this is the way. So now this is in the format of CNF. Okay, so this is in the format of CNF. So our now the first step is already clear. Okay, so actually first step you have to find whether it is in CNF. So CNF first step is you have to check whether it has null production, unit production, or any unnecessary symbols. So when you're converting itself, you will be removing all the null production, unit productions also. Okay, so check whether it is in CNF. Okay, if it is in CNF, you leave it. If not, you convert that into CNF. The grammar that I have taken is in CNF, so I'm just leaving it. Okay, so now my second step. The second step is make make all non-terminal as okay. Okay, make all non-terminals in the format of A1 to AN. Okay, so what is this? What are the non-terminals here? S and A are the non-terminals. S, A. Here A and S. These are the non-terminals. Remember, non-terminals are capital letters. Okay, now I have to make that non-terminals in the form of A1 to AN. Okay, so S is, I'm making S as A1. Okay, always apply this A1 to AN in the sequential order, not this order. Okay, sometimes you may have a grammar like this. Okay, for example, this is okay. Yes. Okay, so this is the order. Then you have to give the value of AS first. After yes, you should not jump to this or this. Have to go in this order. Next is A. A will be having the value of A2. Next, there is yes already given. Next is A already given. Next is B. Okay, go in this sequential order, not in alphabetical order or in the vertical wise. Okay, B gives A3. A is already given. Next C will be the value of A4. Okay, go in this order. Always go in sequential order while allocating the new names for the grammars. Okay, so now non-terminals. Okay, so now S is A1 and the next non-terminals A is A2. So here only two non-terminals. So I have given in this way. But if you have many lines of production, then go in this horizontal way of naming the non-terminals. Okay, so now we have just allocated the values. So what will be my uh, production now? Yeah, instead of yes, I'll give the values A1. A1 gives A2, A2. Instead of A, I have made this A2 and A. And similarly, A2, A is A2. A2 gives A1, A1, B. Okay. So just I have updated this grammar into in the form of A1 and A2. Okay. So this is your second step. Now third step. Okay. Third step. What is your third step is? Okay. Now check whether your I is greater than J and I is equal to J. Okay. So first we'll solve for I is greater than J. Okay, if you have I is greater than, first I'll tell you what is the procedure, then I'll explain what is I and J. Okay, if your I is greater than J, then use substitution method. Okay, if I is greater than J, then use substitution method. Here I is, I'll take the first grammar, first production, A1 gives A2, A2 and A. Okay, so this is your I and this is your J. Okay, check the left hand side, that is non-terminals value, and the right hand side first non-terminals value, first variables value. Okay, you cannot take all the variables, check only the first variable. Okay, so here I is 1, here J is 2. Okay, so I is lesser than J. Okay, I is lesser than J, that is 1 is lesser than 2. Okay, so if I is lesser than 2, then leave it. Leave it. You don't have to do anything. Just we have to check whether I is greater than J or not. If it is greater, then use substitution method. Okay, so first terminal we are not doing anything because I is greater than I is lesser than J. Leave it. Now for second a second production. A2 gives A1 and B. So here I is equal to 2 and J is equal to only this symbol. Okay, 1. So here I is greater than J. So if I is greater than J, what you have to do? Use substitution method. Okay, what is substitution method? Just substitute value. So where the problem occurs? In A1, value of A1 with its production. What is it? So what is the production of A1? A1 is A2, A2A. So A1 gives A2, okay, sorry, A2, A2, and also it also gives A. So always when you are using substitution method, represent in this way and try to unsubstitute, because you will get you leave the second half. Okay, A1 gives A2, A2, and also A1 gives A also. So don't leave this. Okay, so now this is the problematic variable. I have to substitute only this, because the problem occurred in this position only, not in this position. Okay, so now I'll write the production. Okay, so what will be my A2 will be, okay, so I'll write this. A2 will be, first I'll apply A2 the first, this A1 is replaced with its own production. The first I'm applying A2. Okay, so A2, and this A1 is still available, A1, or okay, now I'm applying this A1. Okay, first I've applied this A1 on this A1 and I got this production. Now I'm applying this A, the second production, A and A1. The B is, there is no A1 here, so B comes alone. Okay, I hope you remember understanding this. I have taken the value of the problematic A1 and I have taken substitute with its own value. Okay, its own value is A2 and A. So first I have substituted A2 and this A1 from this A1. And similarly, if the problematic A is replaced with its another production, A1 and B. So my updated production is, so A1 there is no change, so I'm just writing as such. Okay, so this is my updated production. So now first we have converted into CFG, sorry, the CFG into CNF. Then we have applied some A terms on each non-terminals and we got this production. From this production, we checked whether I is greater than J. If I is greater than J, we use substitution method. Okay, now check the production whether I is greater than J. Check this and the first variable only, A1, A2, not greater. A2 and A2, it is equal but it is not greater. So now this is your valid. Now this is the eliminated. I greater than J is eliminated. Everywhere you can find I lesser than J or I is equal to J. Okay, now we have eliminated this I greater than J concept. Okay, now next is, we have solved this one. Now we have to check for I equal to J. Okay, remove this. Fine. So now, fine. Now I have to check I is equal to J. First we have checked I is greater than J and use substitution method to remove that. If I is equal to J, then eliminate it. Okay, that is, if I is equal to J, there occurs left recursion. What is left recursion? When your left side production gives you the same right, okay, right production. That is, your left side is same as right side or your right side is same as your left side, then there occurs left recursion. The left is recurring again. Okay, so that time it gives I is equal to J. So you have to use elimination method. Okay, so check for A1. A1 gives A2 and A2. A. Here I is 1, J is 2. Okay, so it is not equal. So you are leaving it. Now check for A2. A2, A2, A1, A1 and B. Okay, check only the first variable. Okay, I is equal to j. So what you have to do, this is reoccurring, so left side is reoccurring, so it causes left recursion. Left is reoccurring again here. Okay, so this causes left recursion, so you have to eliminate it. What you have, which term you have to eliminate? You have to eliminate a2. So how to eliminate? You have to create a new variable. Okay, I'll tell you. So now I'll eliminate a2. So this a2. Okay, so the problem has occurred in this production, so I'm removing entire production. Okay, so the available production will be a1 and b. Okay, now I'll create one new variable called z. Okay, I'll add with this. Okay, a1 z and b z. The thing is, I have created this, eliminated the problematic entire production, and the leftover is this one. Okay, so I have written this non-terminal, this a2 with the leftover production once and leftover production with the z once. So what will be my z now? The z will be, so how you have to generate z is, I'll write, okay, I'll write again. So this is only the trickier part where you have to understand properly this elimination method. The other substitution and all very easy. This elimination alone is little bit trickier. So please listen. Okay. What I have, so how the non-terminal is created is, this non-terminal is generated with leftover productions, not variables, it's production. Leftover productions. Okay. I'll erase this also. Okay, so the leftover production with, okay, leftover production once plus leftover production. Leftover means the production which is left. Okay, not left side, right side, just leftover production once with leftover production once and leftover production with z once. Okay, so leftover production is a1 b, I have written it, and leftover production with z. So leftover production is a1 z and bz once. Okay, this is your non-terminal. Okay, now you have eliminated entire that problem causing from the non-terminal one. Okay, now the new values included, right? The z is in new variable is, okay, included. So for the new variable, what you have, if you are creating new variable, you have to create the production for the new variable also. So new variable will be problematic variable once plus, okay, okay, remove this, problematic variable plus other variables plus z once. Okay, and okay, plus other variable plus, sorry, without c once. Okay, so this is how you will create. So I'll create this again based on the thing that I have given. Okay, so now I'll change the color. A2. So A2 will be, first I have to create the non-terminal first. So non-terminal is A2. For how I'll create the non-terminal? With leftover production. So this is, okay, first you have to eliminate problematic production. Okay, so how you will remove the problem? I am eliminating this problematic production. The leftover production is A1 and B. Okay, so leftover production 1. So these are the leftover productions. Leftover production with Z ones, A1Z and BZ. I have created my non-terminal. Now by eliminating the entire problematic production. Now I have, since I have introduced new terminal Z, new non-terminal Z. Now I have to give the production for Z also. So how I'll create the production for new terminal Z? That is problematic variable. What is problematic variable? A2. Okay, A2 is given, and other variables. If I'm saying this is my problematic variable, what will be my other variable? These are my other variables. Please listen. This is only giving me problem, not these variables. I have checked the value of I and j with this only. So this is my problematic variable, not the other one. Since this is also 2, don't get confused. Your problematic variable is only the first one. Okay, so you have to write the problematic variable once, that is A2, with okay problematic variable plus other variable. This is A1. Okay, the other variable is A1. Okay, next is once. Okay, z with z once, and problematic variable other variable without z once. Okay, so this is my production. Okay, so problematic. So sometimes the why I'm insisting other variable is here you have 2 times a2, so I have taken a2 once, and this is my other variable a1 with z once and without z once. Okay, suppose if you have a2 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 a1, then what will be your this new variable z will be problematic variable once, and these will be considered as the other variables a2 a1. This is how you will be constructing. Okay, so you will eliminate the first variable. Think like this. Okay, eliminate the first one. Okay, write the problematic variable once, then this is considered as other variable. Okay, so if it is a2 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 and a1, what is eliminate the first problematic variable and write the problematic z will be remove this problematic variable. Write once the problematic variable, and this will be your a2 a2 a1 will be your other variables. Okay, so think in this way. Okay, this will be your other variables. Okay, so likewise you have to generate z. Okay, so this is my updated production. So now I have removed all the null productions, unit productions, I less than j, I equal to j. Okay, check whether I is less than j. So this is A1 will be A2, A2, A. Okay. Here I is greater than, I is less than J. Yes. Here A2, A1, everything is accepted. Why? Because it is following the property of GNF. What is GNF? How the GNF should be? Non-terminal should give you non-terminal. So terminal, non-terminal, or non-terminal will give you only terminal. Okay. So here you can say that A2 is not less than A1, but it is following the property of T and T. That is terminal, non-terminal. So you leave it. Okay. Since here there is no that kind of formation, so you leave this also. So this is your updated production. Okay, so this will be quite confusing, but if you solve 2 to 3 problems, you'll understand it very clearly. But this is the format you have to solve. Okay, so there are 2 or there more different types of conversion. I'll also tell that too, because but this is the biggest thing where you have to convert by using the step by step conversion happens in this way. Okay, so next is, now we have converted I, we have checked I is whether I is greater than j. If it is j, we use substitution method, and then we check I is equal to j and we use elimination method. Okay, now done. Okay, now we'll start with the last step is check whether I is lesser than j. Okay, or if it is not following format of GNF. Okay, what is the format of GNF? That is, it should be, don't, okay, so it will be quite confusing. You just check whether it is following the format of GNF or not. That is, your non-terminal should give you terminal, non-terminal, or non-terminal should give you only terminal. So here in A1, it gives A2, A2 and A. A2 gives A1, B, A1Z and BZ, and finally Z gives A2A1Z and A2A1. Okay, so check whether it is in these two format. Okay, A1 gives A2A2A. So it is non-terminal and this is also non-terminal. So it should not be. So what you have to do, the problem occurred in this first part, because this is, if I change this as terminal, I can have this will come inside GNF, right? So what I'll do, I'll just use substitution, the basic substitution method. Okay, so in A1, I'll substitute the value of A2. So what are the values of A2? A1, B, A1Z, B, Z. Okay, substitute one by one instead of this A2. So instead of A2, I'll substitute A1 first and A2. I have taken from this. This A2 is left. Okay, so I'm just substituting. Okay, or now I'm substituting B instead of A2, and this A2 comes again. Then A1Z, A1Z, and this A2 is here, A2, and again BZ, this A2 comes here. Okay, then the leftover is A. Okay, so this is your updated production. The thing is, I have checked whether it is following the format of GNF. This A1 is not following the format of GNF, because the GNF should be terminal and non-terminal. In this itself, in the first production itself, I found that it has two non-terminals continuously. So my aim is to update the first non-terminal into terminal. What I'll do, I'll just change the substitute the value of A2 in this. So I'm substituting the value of A2 one by one inside this. So my production will be in this form. Now A2 is already following the format of CNF, so GNF. So I'm writing as such. DZ. Okay, so it is capital, so it is allowed. Okay, next is D. So Z, check whether it is following the format of GNF. No, it is A2, A2Z. So you should have a terminal. You should start with terminal. So what you'll do, again I'll substitute the value of A2 inside this A2. Okay, so I'm not substituting here and here, because my first terminal should be the first letter, the first variable should be terminal. So instead of this A2, I'm substituting this A2. So what is this A2 value? A1 is substituted, and this A1Z is there, A1Z. Next, I'm substituting B here, B, A1Z. Okay, so B from this A2, instead of this A2, I have put B, and this A1Z is just written as such. Then A1Z, A1Z is substitution of A2. Next, A1Z is available. Next, again BZ is the last terminal, so BZ, and A1 BZ is written instead of A2, and A1Z is written. Okay, so now I have updated this particular part, and check for this A2, A1. This is also not in the format of this GNF. So substitute the value of A2 and change this into a terminal. Okay, so if I update this A2 with the production of A2, so my first one will be A1 instead of A2. Next, one more A1 came. Okay, so A1 is instead of A2 and A1. Okay, now B is substituted instead of A2 and A1. Then A1Z is substituted instead of A2, and this A1 is here. Okay, now BZ is substituted instead of A2 and A1 is given. So this will be my updated production. So this is in the format of GNF. So this is my converter GNF. Okay, see, everything starts with terminal only. Terminal. Okay, and inside you don't have the combination of terminals. If it is starting with terminal, it is going only with non-terminals. So this is your updated GNF. That is the final GNF. You have converted into a proper GNF now. That is, first we have started with first conversion of CNF first. So CFG, if you got CFG, convert into CNF. Once you got the CNF, you have to check whether I is greater than J. If I is greater than J, use substitution method. Okay, and update the value. Okay, inside. If then check I is equal to J. If it is I is equal to J, then it leads to left recursion. Okay, so you have to use elimination method. Okay, elimination method. Eliminate the problematic symbol and create a new variable and give the production for that variable. Okay. Thirdly, you check whether it is following the format of GNF. That is, it should have non-terminal should be producing only terminal, non-terminal, or you can also have terminal. If this is in the format, check whether your production that you got after this elimination step in this format. If not, substitute and change in this to this format. Okay, this is your first method. Okay, sometimes this will be asked in detailed question, so you have to follow these steps to convert your context free grammar into GNF. Okay, GNF. Okay, now I'll say you another method. Okay, that is quite easy method, but that will not work for all your problems. Okay, the method that I taught you till now, that will be working for your problem, but sometimes if the question is asked in 3 marks or 1 marks, use this method to solve. Okay, so the second sum that I'm taking is S gives AB, A capital S and AAS. Okay, so here every production in the form of non-terminals and terminals, but the previous question in the format of everything was in the format of non-terminals. So if the question is asked in this way, okay, first what is the how the GNF should be? It should be non-terminal gives terminal, non-terminal, and non-terminal gives only terminal. Okay, so here I'm just, for you to understand, I'm writing it separately. Okay, so check one by one whether it is following the format of GNF. So it is terminal. Okay, this is non-terminal. Okay, so this is terminal and this is also terminal. So what I'll do is, you should have only terminal, or you can have terminal and non-terminal. You should not have this part. Instead of this, I'm creating a new symbol called X, and I'm saying capital X, that is non-terminal, and I'm saying it will be holding the value of B. Okay, so the my production will be A and, sorry, okay, I'll write again. So I'm saying I'm creating a new terminal, capital non-terminal X, and I'm saying it will be B. It will be holding the value of small b. So what will be my updated production? Yes, gives, instead of this A, I'll write assets. Instead of this B, I'll write X. So now it is following the format of GNF, right? Okay. So the second one is S gives cap small a and yes, it is following the format of GNF. The third one, okay, the third one is S gives AAS. Okay, so now I'm creating a new variable called capital Y, new non-terminal called capital Y, and I'm saying it holds the value of A. And don't jump into a conclusion and apply this Y on every A. Check and apply it on whenever or wherever it is necessary. Okay, so my GNF should be starting with the terminal. That is okay. It can have non-terminals, but in between it should not have a terminal, right? So that is what I needed. So I'm just updating this value of Y only in this part. So S gives A. Instead of this A, I'm putting capital Y, and already S is there. Now this is following the property of GNF. Okay, it starts with terminal. It can have any number of non-terminals, but it only starts with non-terminal, and there should be no terminal in between. Okay, so I have made it in that format. So my updated production, so initially I had in this way. Now my updated production will be AX, AS, and AY, yes. And now I have created two variables called X gives B and Y gives A. So this is my updated or the proper GNF. This is my proper GNF. Okay, it is following the format. So every time you don't have to apply or follow that the first method to solve the problem. Sometimes you can also go in this way to solve a problem. Okay, so I hope you understood this class. And sometimes if the question is asked in 7 marks, go for that every line by line way, and such kind of questions will be asked. Okay, so the first question that I asked that I solved for you is 1 minute. Okay, so the first question I solved is S gives A and A gives S and B. Okay, I cannot do this in this is the first method question. I cannot use the method 2 format to solve this. Okay, where method 2 I had A, S, or A, B. Likewise, I had this kind of format, okay, where I can easily substitute or create a new variable and I can substitute, okay, and instead of this I can substitute here and I can make this as GNF. But here I cannot keep on because already A is created. I cannot create new variable A and I can make this as some other value. So this will be quite confusing, okay. For this kind of problems you have to use the method 1 to solve it, okay. And usually these kind of problems will be given in 7 marks, and sometimes if this question, if the method is asked the small sometimes if you are if you got this question in 2 marks and 1 marks and 3 marks, you can go for this method, simpler method, to solve it, okay. So based on the method you have to solve it, okay. So I hope you understood today's class. Thank you.